Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Aviation Neo trip report. I'm currently at Austin Bergstrom, where I'll be taking flight on board United in domestic economy. So join me as I review their 737 MAX and NG products on this two-leg trip from here in Austin to Los Angeles. Our journey starts here in the Barbara Jordan Terminal, where I'll be taking the first leg down to Houston Bush. As always, check-in was available online or via the United app 24 hours before departure, and checked luggage was self-service at a kiosk. I still find it stingy that United only allows one personal item for basic economy. Delta, American, and Southwest all allow passengers a personal item and a carry-on, even in basic economy. Not to mention that United still charges $35 for the first checked bag, even when you've paid the extra $100 for standard economy. After dropping my bags, I headed quickly through TSA and was airside in a few minutes. With some time to burn, I headed over to the rooftop terrace here at AUS. The terrace used to be exclusive access as it belonged to the since-gone Chase Sapphire Reserve Lounge. Getting to the terrace can prove to be a bit convoluted, but is not too difficult. The entrance can be found in the east end of the concourse near the international gates, and also by following signs for the Delta Sky Club. I got some cool views of Lufthansa's new 787, an aircraft I'd definitely like to try in the near future. If you're enjoying the video so far, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd love to make more long-haul and international trip reports, especially on newer airlines and products that you guys would be interested in having me make a review for. If you'd like, you can support me through Patreon, where you'll get early access to videos, member shoutouts, and exclusive aviation-related vlogs. All proceeds will go to making new trip reports of supporters' choosing. Links are in the description below, and let's get back to the video. My ride on the first leg down to Houston is November 37525, a 6-year-old Boeing 737 MAX 9 delivered to United in January of 2021. And in no time at all, it was time to board United's 737 MAX 9. That may have been a slight overreaction, given that this flight is only 35 minutes, but hear me out. United definitely has amazing domestic products. In fact, you may have seen my other reviews glazing at their A321neo and 737 MAX 8. However, the one thing they still lack is consistency. You still have no idea what you're going to get, as their fleet is still a mismatch of products from different ages. In fact, this flight was even advertised on the United app to have seatback IFE and their state-of-the-art next cabin. However, it's obvious that this is not what we got. I'm not super disappointed about this flight because it's literally only a half hour. However, United is still obviously utilizing this aircraft on long transcon and even international routes well over 5 hours. At that point, I feel like they wouldn't be too different from Southwest or even American. With an unknown force preventing me from replacing the menu card, let's take a look at the seat on board United's MAX 9. United has fitted 111 of the typical Collins Meridian slimline seats. Tray tables were decently sized and had ample travel. Seat pitch was United's standard 30 inches, which is acceptable. Seat padding was a little on the thin side, but still alright. Seats had average recline, adjustable headrests, tablet holders, and 2 shared power outlets. Other than that, no frills, nothing special. Above each passenger's head, there were also individual air vents and reading lights. However, mine seemed to resemble more of a fidget spinner than an actual air vent. Soon enough, we were pushing back, starting our engines, and taxiing out for an on-time departure from runway 36 right. Our route then took us northeast out of Austin to College Station. From there, we turned south heading over Magnolia and down into Houston. Total flight time was 36 minutes, cruising at 21,000 feet. Overall, the flight was very uneventful. Neither a snack or beverage service was conducted because the cruise duration is simply too short. Entertainment was free via the United app on a personal device, and Wi-Fi was available for purchase for $8. I pretty much had my head out the window the whole time, and before I knew it, we were on approach for runway 26 left at Houston Bush. After landing in Houston, things got a little chaotic. Our arrival gate was still occupied by a delayed aircraft, which had us waiting near the maintenance hangars for around 25 minutes. The captain decided to switch concourses in order to get to a gate sooner. However, after taxiing in, it was discovered that there were no marshalers and ground staff to receive the aircraft. And of course, we were blocking the narrow alleyway that other flights needed clear in order to depart. So back to the penalty box it was. After another 15 minutes of waiting, the ground staff were finally ready for us. But just when we thought we had enough chaos for one night, things got even crazier. After being marshaled in, it turns out the jetway was having issues reaching the aircraft. So we waited for a tug to push us back again, waited for the alleyway to be clear for us to push into, and we were realigned with the jetway so that it would be able to reach us. All in all, we spent around 55 minutes on the ground, laughable considering the flight itself was almost half the time we spent on the ground at our destination. After a pretty mid-flight on the MAX 9, it was time for the second leg of my journey. I'd be heading to the E-gates to catch my final leg down to Los Angeles on board United's 737-900ER. Thankfully on this leg, I would be getting United's next interior and new IFE. After checking the departure monitor for our gate, I headed over to board United Flight 297 at Echo 5, which unfortunately lacked a window with a view. My ride to LA would be November 62889, a 10-year-old 737-900ER, which of course you can't see right now, that was delivered new to United in September of 2015. And here we are on board United 737-900ER. Economy here is composed of 159 Collins Aerospace Pinnacle seats, and very happily ones that have been retrofitted with the new adjustable Panasonic IFE screens. Seat pitch is once again an okay 30 inches, with recline being about average. Tray tables are decently sized but have no cup holders. Seats also feature adjustable headrests, universal power outlets, power ports for both USB-A and USB-C, and a headphone jack. You of course can also connect your own headphones via Bluetooth.
Utilizing the space under the seat in front of you for your knockoff Louis Vuitton. Just make sure the area around your feet is clear by pushing that back down like a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell. So please put them in there sideways so you don't spill any ingredients out of your tacos. Hi, welcome.
Soon enough, we began to push back and start our engines. However, we didn't get very far before we took a sudden U-turn back to the ramp. After reaching the ramp, we sat for around 20 minutes with no updates. Everyone was beginning to wonder what was going on, and to be honest, I thought we were headed back to the gate because of a maintenance issue. Turns out the aircraft weight and balance was out of limits. It wouldn't be easy to rectify since nearly every seat was occupied. That's when cabin crew began shuffling a bunch of carry-on luggage and people back and forth. After another 15 minutes, we began our taxi for runway 33 right. Our route then took us north, then west out of Houston. We flew over Austin, El Paso, Las Cruces, Phoenix, and Joshua Tree before making an approach for runway 25 left at Los Angeles. Total flight time was 2 hours and 59 minutes, cruising at 28,000 feet. Before long, cabin crew began the in-flight service. Passengers were offered a selection of soft drinks as well as tea, coffee, and juices. A light snack was also offered, with choices being a salty cracker mix, quinoa cookies, or the classic stroopwafel. To my surprise, buy-on-board items including snack boxes and meal items were not offered. I wonder why. Perhaps the time frame of the flight was the reason. After the service, it was time to enjoy United's comprehensive in-flight entertainment system. There's no shortage when it comes to choices for both movies and TV shows. I connected my AirPods via Bluetooth to the IFE, which is something that still impresses me today. I also enjoyed the interactive flight map that features a view displaying a simulation of the cockpit's primary flight display. Overall, the IFE experience was superb, modern, responsive, and full of entertaining content. And of course, the video wouldn't be complete without a customary review of the lavatory. This check-in was near the end of the flight, and the lav was clean and well lit, despite being very cramped. Upon reaching Phoenix, I began to notice some commotion about 5 rows ahead of me. Some people on the left had begun to get up, with those surrounding them ringing their cabin crew call bells. It was at this point I was able to make out someone lying on the floor in the aisle. Everyone in the back began exchanging confused and concerned looks, and it was at this point that cabin crew asked if there were any medical doctors on board with us. They began shuffling some pretty serious medical-looking equipment down the aisle, and there was a lady that came out of first class who seemed to be helping with the issue. At this point, I was pretty sure that we were going to divert to Sky Harbor, but we kept on chugging along to LA. Honestly, everyone was just hoping whoever was having trouble was going to be okay. Thankfully, the individual who was having issues seemed to be stabilized, and we made our descent and approach for runway 25 left at LAX.
We'd like to be the first to welcome you to Los Angeles, where the local time is 11:45 p.m.
My experience on United today was a pretty mixed bag. They do have some really great hard products out there like their A321neo and 737 MAX 8, but their other narrow bodies are still very inconsistent from aircraft to aircraft. Things like today's strikeout on United Next, the presence of a broken air vent, and absolute chaos on the ground at Houston definitely leave less than desirable impressions on paying customers. Both the stellar cabin crew and the new IFE on the second leg were the saviors of this trip. My main takeaway from this experience is that United's biggest weakness is their lack of consistency. If they can really lock in and finish the next program fully, they have the potential to dominate the US airline market.
Flight pass, please disarm your doors for arrival. Cross-check, standby for all call.
That's all for today, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you'd like, feel free to check out the Patreon as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.